Hello, hello, hello. This is your boy Brandon Correa, aka EF Hutton of Entertainment, and we are back with another movie review. And the movie we have today is the movie that a lot of people are talking about, saying it's their favorite movie. A lot of people I know are saying it's their favorite movie like ever. There's been certain people saying that, and the movie we have is Everything Everywhere All at Once, starring the amazing Michelle Yeoh. Bodied it, and so I want to lay a little bit of context before I get into the actual review and meat of this movie. So this movie got released in Canada on April 1st. So April Fools, right? And I'm not the biggest April Fools person, prank person. So when April 1st comes, to me, it's just a new month. It's April 1st. But I know there are people that automatically their mind will go to April 1st. It's April Fool's Day. So leading up to this movie, I actually did not hear much. I didn't see much trailers or anything. And I'm usually like pretty up to date on even smaller indie movies that like pique my interest, like especially if they're somewhat action based. And I don't want to say this isn't an action movie, but a movie like Raid Redemption, when that came out and that was a low key movie, I saw trailers for that movie and things for that movie, which enticed me to tell my boys and for us to go to the movies and actually see Raid in the theater. So I didn't really see anything at all for this movie. And catch me on April 1st, the actual April 1st, the day that it got released. So the trailers that were playing on, I think it was Instagram that I might have seen the trailer, and it was saying it was like this movie is playing now. And I'm looking at this trailer, and this trailer was bonkers, like absolute bonkers. Like I was looking at this shit like, yo, what is this? This looks absolutely not only amazing, but just crazy. And I'm not someone to usually obviously believe the comments, but I've been fooled by Instagram posts on April 1st a lot, especially with sports stuff. There are sports accounts that I follow that they'll be like, oh, this person got traded to this team. And then you see in the comments, yo, it's an April Fool's Day joke, like relax. And then you actually see like days leading up that the man's still on the same team that he was on, and no trade actually happened. So I've been fooled a lot of times on April Fools with announcements. So when I saw this trailer and I went to the comments and I saw, yo, this is a spoof. Like every comment was like, this is fake. Yo, it's an April Fool's Day joke. This is a spoof. This is a spoof. And because I got fooled in the past by a few times by on April Fool's Day by other accounts, I was like, oh man, that's shitty because this trailer looks absolutely amazing. So I just closed it and moved on. And I'm cheesed because in that moment, I was really, really, really excited and enticed by the trailer and the movie. Now, fast forward maybe like a week and a bit, right after I see the trailer. And I see a lot of the YouTube guys that I listen to start dropping reviews, Everything Everywhere All at Once review. And I was like, wait, this movie's real? So at that point, started doing my own research, found out obviously movie is real and you could go, there's certain theaters that you could go and see it at. So I was like, yo, wait a minute, this is crazy. So I just want to say why I'm late on this review is because by the time I realized the movie was actually like a thing and I wanted to get going to try and see it, it was probably like mid-April. And my second son, obviously just to be a little bit transparent, was born the end of April. And there was just a little bit of somewhat problems with my wife in the pregnancy near the end. So they had to induce her. So that was going on during that April period. So it was hard for me to obviously get to the movies at that point. And then there was other movies that came out during that time period that obviously drew my attention, Doctor Strange being a big one. And so obviously like I just haven't gotten to it until now. And so yeah, I just wanted to drop a little bit of context as to why this review is coming as late as it is. And I just want to toot my own horn a little bit. I know I didn't obviously predict anything, but when I say EF Hutton of Entertainment, I'm gonna get this to stick, because there are a lot of times that I think a movie, especially if it's a low key movie, that I'm like, or I see things that I'm like, yo, this is going to be it. And then nobody wants to listen to me. Top Gun 2 right now is a monster. And I'm telling you, I was preaching that movie from the time I saw the first bit of reveals in that movie. Like in like early 2019. Like they announced that back like in maybe like 2018. And it was supposed to come out in 2020. And then the pandemic hit, obviously, beginning in 2020 and pushed. And they kept pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. But I kept trying to get all my boys to go even see Top Gun. And they weren't even rushing to go see it with me. And that movie, look at that movie now. Everybody's talking about going to see Top Gun. I've been trying to, it's okay. I'm going to get the EA button to stick. I will get it to stick. Now let's get into the review. Honestly, this movie is fucking amazing. Magnificent. You know, the Collector when Thanos, when Gamora fakes kills Thanos in Infinity War. Magnificent. Honestly, movie is magnificent. Like if I were to try and like just if I were to have to describe it, so this will be a spoiler review in certain areas. I will try and keep it not as spoilery, but I'm gonna have to get into certain things. So if I were to describe this movie in kind of not describe it, but if I were to kind of give you a quick pitch of what the movie is by describing what other movies kind of are like it, I'd be like, this is like a love child of The Matrix meets Crouching Tiger meets Multiverse of Madness with Doctor Strange meets The One with Jet Li. I don't like it's like, and like thinking about that combination is so wild, but it's just like this movie is so wild that the combination actually makes sense if you've watched the movie, right? Like this movie was a roller coaster. Like from the time that it popped off, and like this movie is delivered in 3 parts, but like when I say from the time the movie pops off, like it was one of the quickest hour and a halves of movie time that I've watched in a long time. From a technical aspect, this movie is a feat in itself because as an actor and as someone that's trying to progress in that industry and knowing somewhat what it takes with regards to lighting and them wanting to get angles and having to put cameras in different angles and multiple angles to get multiple shots, this movie must have been ridiculous to actually shoot. And just with regards to producing it, like the amount of shots that they had to do, the amount of just like reshooting and different, just in that aspect, it was this movie is a feat. It was directed amazingly, and like you could tell just from the time that Ke Huy Quan came on the screen, who was like Michelle Yeoh's husband, and he kind of came into the room and it showed his reflection, and it was a shot from behind him aiming at a small mirror, and that's how you were able to see his image, his face. Once you got that little bit of tidbit, like that was a nice little foreshadow of this is gonna be the directing style, and it's gonna be elite like this. And like as soon as I saw that, I was like, okay, I don't know what I'm getting in for, but okay, we're getting into this kind of eliteness. And speaking of Ke Huy Quan, not only was Michelle Yeoh like amazing, and like she's amazing in everything. We just recently saw her in Shang-Chi, but she bodied it, and this might have been honestly one of her best performances. But this gentleman right here was on equal footing, and I've actually been, from a couple of the reviews that I've watched on this movie, this guy was in Indiana Jones and was in The Goonies and took a break from acting for a while and then just decided to come back. And I'm like if that's the case, like if this man just quit and came back and did that performance, magnificent, because he bodied that. I can't even stress it enough. And even down to the daughter, who was the antagonist in the movie. In the beginning, obviously because it wasn't revealed later on that she was the antagonist, but in the beginning, it's not that it wasn't really revealed, but it's just like, because like I guess they were more keeping her hidden until she came out as that antagonist to give her more to do. You didn't really think that she was going to kind of be a breakout performance, but then when she kind of got her stuff and she was just like in that bag, yo, my girl, yo, you were killing that in the full white with the donut on your head top, looking like looking like a Beyonce video, looking like the power, my power, my power, like that video, the Beyonce video. Like, you, like, even she bodied it, and like the three of them together, like, were just amazing in this movie. Amazing, absolutely amazing. So yeah, just from a technical aspect, like this movie was amazing. Acting amazing, cinematography amazing, directing amazing. Everything in that realm, absolutely amazing. Now, getting into the deeper stuff. No, I don't even want to say the deeper stuff, but getting into like what this movie's like about, and the concepts in it, and where they kind of went with it. So this movie is not only hilarious, and it's not a comedy, a romantic comedy, but it's not a rom-com. And it has great action, but it's not an action movie. And it has great family dynamics, but it's not a family movie. And like, it's weird because, and that's what I mean by how I described it with the movies that I use to kind of describe it, but you can't even really group this movie into a genre, because, and like, maybe in a sense, like that's what the director was thinking, like, not only with the craziness of the multiverse, but that will reflect in the fact that there's all these different aspects of movies being thrown into this movie to represent that chaos. And obviously I could be stretching and just pulling shit out of my ass, right? But it just, that's kind of what I connected with it. And it was just like, it was crazy that there was just all these different things that were coming into the movie, and there wasn't anything that was really like a genre that was defining, but somehow it worked so well. And like, I was laughing a lot, and just at the randomest shit like that. And like, even another movie, even another movie to group in with the ones that I said when I said Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, mixed with Matrix, mixed with Crouching Tiger, mixed with The One, mixed with Jackass. Like, it's just like, what a combination. And it's just like, if you're a Ratatouille fan, like, you're gonna die to part in this. And that's what I'm saying. Like, now it's like bringing up Ratatouille. Like, it's like, what are we talking about? Like, the concepts and stuff, and just like the different kind of just movies and ideas and stuff that they just were throwing into this pot was wild. And it actually just hit. Like, the food that came out the pot was so nice. Like, it was like, it's crazy because like, and like, it's not even like they were just telling jokes. It was just like random shit in the chaos of the multiverse that just made me laugh. Like, this was a spoiler, but it's not giving away anything with the plot. But there's a part where literally like one of the, like, a supporting character is just swinging her dog. Like she wants to get her little Chihuahua dog, her little Yorkie or Shih Tzu, whatever, to go get Michelle Yeoh. And she's literally just swinging the dog on the leash like this. And then she swings it at her, and Michelle Yeoh opens up the fridge, and the dog goes into the fridge, and she closes the door and gets trapped. It's like the randomest, just like dumbest shit that just happened that like I was actually dying at. But it wasn't, it's not like it was trying to be funny. But it was, though, in a sense, because it was also like, with the main message, it's like, it's like it would hit you with something serious and then kind of hit you with something kind of light like that, to also show the overall message, which was just like, not that nothing matters, but that it's just like, there, like, love triumphs and kindness triumphs, and that the small moments and the nice moments, we need to cherish it. And it's I don't want to say it's easy, but it is easy for us as humans to kind of get in that mindset and get in that way of thinking like her daughter did. And then just in that moment where Michelle Yeoh was kind of going towards her daughter, where she looked at her husband and she kind of got reminded of a different way, and a different way of just thinking and looking at things. And it kind of helped her to kind of come back over to where she needed to be. And there was just a nice moment where it was in the universe where the Michelle Yeoh and the husband weren't together, and they were rich and more successful because they didn't get married. And he was kind of explaining to her that, like, the reason why, like, I know you thought I was too sweet, and your father always think that I'm too sweet. And he was like, maybe I am to a fault, but he's like, I know that the world is like bad, but he's like, that's my way of coping and surviving and making it through this dark world, is being kind and just being nice. And it was honestly, as someone that is more on the other side, hearing that in that movie was just like, it did resonate with me a lot. And I was just like, that is a very interesting perspective, and just an interesting way to fight and to survive, because we're all out here just surviving. And just like they mentioned in the movie, we're all just messes, and we're all just, you know what I mean? We're all messes. We all just trying to figure it out, right? So hearing that, right, he's obviously a mess and figuring it out, but that's how he's that's how he's choosing and how he survives, right? So it was deep. Like the message of the overall movie was really, really, really deep. And not only for everybody to look at personally, but just as like a human race generally. Like, there's moments in this movie where it starts to, it kind of just questions like just us as like humanity as like a whole. So there's a lot of like big and like really deep concepts that they discuss and get into in this movie, but it's sandwiched in with the movie descriptions that I mentioned and the roller coasterness of it, like the Crouching Tiger mixed with the One, mixed with the Doctor Strange, mixed with the Jackass, like all these movies that they kind of like borrowed from in a sense and made this wonky, crazy ass fucking multiverse adventure, and sandwiched in probably one of the deepest and most important messages that like us as humans like really need to, like, I guess, hear and understand, right? And it's not like they hide the message either. Like they do put it right in your face. Especially there's a scene where they're literally just like two rocks, and it's probably one of my favorite scenes, but it really just explains a lot on what the daughter was thinking and what, I don't want to get too deep into it, but it's just they really do put in your face the themes and things that they're discussing, and the deep themes that they're discussing. But like I said, they sandwich it in between some of the craziest shit that you would see on screen, like some of the wildest, wonkiest, visually amazingly looking shit that you would see. So again, like I don't have anything negative to say about this movie. This movie played great. It was 2 hours and 20 minutes, and it absolutely flew. I know part 3 is obviously like only like a last 10 minutes. Part 2 is like 40-ish minutes, 50-ish minutes, and then the first part is obviously the bigger chunk, but that first part honestly flew for me because you're not really expecting anything, and it just throws you in, and it's kind of just like pop, popping off, and there's literally no time for a breath in this movie. Absolutely, like none at all. Maybe closer to the end, it gives you a little bit of chance to kind of breathe and kind of take in stuff a bit, but in the first hour and a bit, it's go, and it's like you're trying to figure out stuff from the last scene, and they're still just doing shit in this new scene. So it's wild. It's a wild and it's a roller coaster ride, but it is an excellent fucking movie. It probably is my number 1 movie of the year, best movie of the year. That movie I think was like between Top Gun and The Batman. But with me finally seeing this, this is definitely better than those two. Yeah, this shit was amazing. This shit was absolutely amazing. And if you haven't seen it yet, I highly, highly, highly recommend you go see this movie. Not just for the entertainment value, but for just the message that it will gut punch you with in the stomach. Not just hit you with. Like, I'm talking about gut punch you in the stomach with the message that they're trying to get across, which is good sometimes. You know what I mean? Sometimes, like us as humans, we don't need a little flick or a little slap on the wrist. Sometimes we do need a gut punch to like wake us up, right? So yeah, that's I don't have anything else to say. If I could just go on and go on, but I'll just be saying a lot of this movie was amazing for a lot of times. But that's it for this movie review. Everything, everywhere, all at once. This movie came out of nowhere, and it's usually the sneaky ones that usually do come out of nowhere that really, really get you. So if you like this review, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. I do movie reviews, TV show reviews, trailer reactions. I have long form podcasts with my co-host Damar. And probably episode 3 will probably be dropping closer to the end of July, maybe after that the Beyonce album drops. But if you're interested in that stuff, got a long form podcast, got a lot of shorts with news clips and entertainment news clips from sports and music and movies and castings and all that good stuff. So if you'd be interested in that, subscribe to my channel. Thanks again for watching.